Welcome to SLOconf 2022. Today we will be talking about developing SLOs for a CI/CD tool. SLOs are service level objectives. CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous development. We'll get into the specifics. My name is Max. I'm a software engineer at Comcast. You can find me on Twitter at MaxNee. So the tool, the CI/CD tool, Concourse. It's an open source CI/CD platform. It's pretty powerful. It can do anything you tell it to do. We run Concourse at Comcast at a pretty large scale, around 18,000 builds a day. We support 1,000 teams across Comcast. So knowing how our platform is behaving is super critical for our users. So an SLI is a building block of SLOs. So SLI is a service level indicator. It is a metric that tells you how your service is operating from the perspective of your users. And how do we create SLIs for software that we did not write? We create them from existing metrics. Concourse itself provides lots of extremely useful metrics we can derive SLIs from. Concourse has a lot of metrics. Some are useful for SLIs, and some are good to know how the tool itself operates, like how it garbage collects containers. It's an interesting metric to see on a dashboard, but in terms of how it's affecting your users is not really all that important. So here's an example of how we create an SLI. We need to replicate a user journey on our platform. So somebody goes to Concourse in their browser and they want to look at their test output. What happens? They log in, they access their pipeline, then they view the output of their build, where their tests are. And those are all independent metrics that Concourse has that we can create SLIs from. So there's the login, homepage, and build content access. So the SLIs we use are successful sign-in, homepage responses of the 95th percentile, 1 second or less, and then successful viewing of build data. The build data is quite verbose, so we don't worry about the response time, just that it returns a 200. So through those SLIs, we can create an SLO, a service level objective. An SLO is a target, exceed it, and your users are happy, and miss it, your users are not satisfied. Given that we operate a platform for software engineers, we want to make sure that they are all happy. So here's some PromQL of our SLIs that we actually aggregate into one SLO. We turn the successes into ones and failures into zero. So we have our own thresholds for these. So we want to, we just turn them into Booleans. So they're a little easier to reason with, and we don't have to worry about the actual percentages. For brevity, I've left out some of the more complex things that we do. But here we take the successful login rate, the list all pipelines latency, and the successful get build data. We add those up and divide by 3. And if it's greater than or equal to 1, we count it as a success. We then take that average over time, over 30 days, to get our SLO, our access SLO. So what that looks like is this. So you can see for the past month, we were exceeding our 95% SLO target. We did have a service impacting outage, or we missed our SLO for a brief period of time that it was causing problems for our users. And, we didn't succeed our SLO target, but after that, we resolved the issue. So here, this is basically the previous slide in graphical form. And with that is how you can derive SLOs from an open source tool using their existing metrics. If you have any questions, just let me know and I can do my best to answer them. Thanks.